Write this down, please. Write it twice so your fear can read it. Change is a law. Planning decides if it blesses or breaks you. What did I say? Say it back to me. Change is a law. Planning is your obedience to that law. Change is not a demon. It is not a devil. It is not even your boss. Change is a built-in governor in the universe. Genesis 8:22 says, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. That's not a suggestion. That's a law. You don't break laws. Laws break you. Tweet that to somebody right now. Hashtag law of change. Now lean in, because I'm about to save you a decade of anxiety. The greatest mistake I see leaders make is they meet change unplanned and then blame the change. If you ignore gravity and step off a building, gravity didn't punish you. You violated a law. In other words, unmanaged change is not your enemy. Unplanned living is. Proverbs 24:27 says, prepare your work outside, get everything ready for yourself in the field, and after that, build your house. Preparation is permission to prosper. In other words, planning is how you befriend change so it works for you instead of against you. So here's our central promise for the next 90 days. Please write this down and put a box around it. We are going to engineer the next 90 days so that change serves you, not scares you. That's not cute language. That is legal language. Laws respond to obedience. Joshua 1:8 says, this book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth. You shall meditate on it day and night, that you may observe to do all that is written in it. Then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. Listen to the verse again. You will make your way, not your neighbor, not the economy, not your feelings. You. How? Mouth, mind, motion. Speak it, think it, do it. That is how you hire change and put it on your payroll. Let me draw a line right now between laws and rules, because some of you are being loyal to the wrong things. There's a difference between a law and a rule. Rules are traditions, often invented by people to keep you comfortable and controllable. Laws are embedded principles created by God to keep you fruitful and free. Jesus said in Matthew 15, why do you break the command of God for the sake of your tradition? In other words, successful people always break the rules for the sake of the law. If a rule in your family, workplace, or even your own head violates the law of purpose, the law of seasons, the law of focus, you must break that rule to obey the law. Because you don't break laws, laws break you. Say amen or say ouch. Both are fine. They both make you adjust. I met a gentleman, let's call him Harold, who came to me 3 months ago, shaking like a leaf in a hurricane. The company reorganized, his role shifted, and his identity collapsed. He said, Doc, change is attacking me. I smiled and said, no, son, change doesn't attack, it arrives. You just didn't have a plan to receive your guests. We sat down, we named this season, we set 3 targets, we built a 1-3-week plan, we cut out 2 distractions, we appointed counsel, and we put declarations on his mirror. At week 2, change stopped feeling like a thief and started paying rent. At week 6, he was promoted in the new structure because he was the only one who looked calm with a checklist. At week 13, he said, I didn't survive change, change served me. Laws don't play favorites, they reward obedience. Now, some of you are professional reactors. You have a PhD in panic. Your phone buzzes, your blood pressure jumps, and your plan evaporates if you had one. I came tonight to arrest that habit. For the next 90 days, we are moving from reactive to strategic. We are going to breathe on schedule. Our oxygen will be 2 things: weekly checkpoints and spoken declarations. Write that down. Oxygen equals checkpoints plus declarations. Why? Because what you schedule, you steward. And what you declare, you direct. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21. Your mouth is the steering wheel. Your calendar is the road. If your words and your weeks disagree, your life will skid. Let me test your memory. What did I say earlier? Change is a law. Planning is your obedience to that law. Say it again. Change is a law. Planning is my obedience to that law. Excellent. When you obey a law, predictability appears. Success becomes boring in a good way. People will call you lucky. Don't argue. Smile and collect the fruit, because success is not luck. It is the harvest of daily obedience to proven laws. And those laws are not hiding in a cave. They are written in scripture. They are etched in creation. And for the next 90 days, we will practice 7 of them until they become reflex. Let me warn you with love and a little humor. Prayer without planning is a spiritualized excuse for irresponsibility. I believe in prayer. I am a praying man. But prayer is not a substitute for law. It is a support for obedience. Even Jesus, the Son of God, respected seasons. He said, my time has not yet come. John 2:4. Timing is a law. Write that down. Some of you are blaming the devil for what your calendar broke. Oh dear. I guess I'm talking to myself. Talk to the hand if you must, but write it down. Prosperity doesn't come by prayer. It comes by keeping laws. Pray for strength, then plan your steps. Here's the runway I'm laying in front of you. Over the next 13 weeks, count them, 13. We will travel 7 principles. 7 because God loves completion. 13 because that's the number of Mondays and the number of chances to adjust before the season flips. 1 runway, 7 laws, 13 weeks. Every week we will do 3 things. Review the plan, remove the clutter, and reinforce the declaration. That rhythm will move you from emotional reaction to strategic action. Ecclesiastes 3:1 declares, to everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under heaven. Time is the currency, purpose is the product, and change is the market. We are going to manage all 3. You might say, but doctor, what if change comes in like a storm? Then we will do what wise builders do. Jesus said, the rain falls on the house, on the rock, and the house on the sand. The difference wasn't the weather, it was the laws they obeyed. One obeyed the law of foundation, the other obeyed the rule of convenience. The storm doesn't make you or break you, it reveals what you built. For 90 days, we are pouring concrete laws as rebar, planning as pour, and weekly checkpoints as the cure time. When the wind hollers, your house will yawn. Let me give you a declaration to start with. Put your hand on your heart and say, I will engineer the next 90 days. Change will not surprise me, it will serve me. I obey the laws that govern success, and I break the rules that resist my purpose. Good. Put that on your mirror, your phone, your fridge. If your fridge can preach better than you, you will eat better and live better. We are going to move from scattered to scheduled, from busy to measured, from talking to tracking, and we will have fun doing it. You will laugh at your old panic and celebrate your new predictability. Some of you will find that the thing you feared was waiting for a plan to bless you. Isaiah 32:8 says, but the noble make noble plans, and by noble deeds they stand. You are about to stand. So here's the foundation. Simple enough to practice, strong enough to change your life. Change is a law. Planning is your obedience to that law. Plan change before it finds you, and it will serve you as a lawful ally, not a violent visitor. Over the next 7 principles and 13 weeks, we will turn that sentence into a system. Bring your pen, bring your mouth, bring your calendar. We are going up on purpose by law. Now, let's lock the revelation in your bones. Take your pen, open your mouth, and lean in. Joshua 1-8. Listen to the exact language. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may observe to do everything written in it. Then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. That is not motivational poetry. That is legal code. Write this down. The Bible calls itself a book of law, not a book of luck. Now reverse the verse, say reverse. Here it is. If this book of the law departs from your mouth, if you stop meditating day and night, if you do not observe to do what is written, then you will make your way unprosperous, and you will have poor success. In other words, success and failure are both predictable. What did I say? Say it out loud. Success is predictable. Failure is predictable. Both are the fruit of obedience or violation. Let me bother your religion for a moment kindly. Prosperity does not come by prayer alone. It comes by keeping laws. Tweet that to somebody and tag your prayer partner, please. I did not say do not pray. I pray without ceasing. But prayer sustains law's produce. If you fast 40 days but plant no seed, the law of harvest will not pity you. Genesis 8:22 already wrote the policy. Seed time and harvest shall not cease. You can pray over concrete all day. If you don't put seed in soil, angels can't harvest asphalt. That's not demonic, that's legal. Why 90 days? Because 90 days is a season you can see from here. It's long enough to change your trajectory, short enough to keep you honest. You can lie to a year, it's too big. You can flirt with a week, it's too small. But 13 weeks, count them, 13 Mondays, looking you in the eye. Ecclesiastes 3:1 already told you, to everything there is a season. We are selecting a season on purpose. In 90 days, you can build momentum, form a habit, measure a trend, and still feel the finish line breathing on your neck so you don't get lazy. Write this down. Short horizon, strong urgency, stable habits. Now here is your formula. Sharpen your thumbs and tweet this right now. Law plus plan plus practice plus people plus prayer equals predictable progress. Hashtag predictable progress. Let me walk it through quickly so it climbs into your calendar. Identify the principle that governs the result you want. No guessing, no gambling. Plan. Translate that law into a 1-3-week map. Weeks don't respect wishes, they respect plans. Practice daily reps, not dramatic spurts. What you do repeatedly, you become permanently. People align your counsel and your circles wrong. People monetize your distraction. Right people multiply your obedience. Prayer keeps your spirit oxygenated. Prayer keeps your will aligned to obey the law when your feelings are lazy. Say it again. Law, plan, practice, people, prayer. That's your engine. Most of us have been running on fumes of inspiration and calling it faith. Faith is not denial. Faith is compliance. James said, be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. Reverse that verse too. If you hear and don't do, and you are not deceived by the devil, you deceived yourself. Oh, dear, I guess I'm talking to myself, but somebody just got delivered from blaming the economy. Let me illustrate so you never forget. A young man, Carl Enrico, came to me with a word that he was going to write a book in a year. I said, son, a year is too foggy. Give me 90 days. We applied the formula. Law. The law of sowing small, consistent words, 1,000 words a day. Plan. A 1-3-week schedule with 5 writing days, 2 review days. Practice. He wrote when he felt inspired and when he felt like a potato. The Lord doesn't care about tubers. People, he appointed a tough editor and a friend who texted pages, please, every night. Prayer, he began every morning reading Psalm 90 to 17, established the work of our hands. At day 78, the manuscript was done. Not a miracle obedience, success predictable. Let me hit your house while I'm visiting. Some of you have been praying over your credit card while violating the law of budgeting. You speak in tongues in the mall, but you can't cast out the sale sign. Sister Lila told me, Doc, I rebuke the devourer. I said, good, now rebuke your impulses. Proverbs 21:5 says, the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. Reverse it. The unplanned lead surely to lack. You don't break budgeting law breaks you. So for 90 days, plan your money on paper before your money plans you in panic. Law, plan, practice, people, prayer, predictable progress. You might say, but doctor, what if life throws me a curve? Curves don't cancel laws, they expose neglect. The law of gravity doesn't apologize because you jumped. It collects. In baseball, great hitters practice for curves. Practice is how you turn a surprise into a score. Jesus said in John 8:31, if you continue in my word, then you are my disciples indeed, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Notice the word continue practice. Freedom is not a moment, it is a practice law. Now say this out loud. Let your own ears disciple you. Success in the next 90 days is not luck. It is the harvest of daily obedience to proven laws. Again, good. Put it on your bathroom mirror and let the toothpaste read it. And for those who still believe success is mystical, consider this. Even sinners who keep laws prosper in their field more than saints who break them in church. Rain falls on both houses. Only one obeyed the foundation law. That's why I'm rescuing you from the seduction of spontaneity. Shortcuts are the longest way to success. Tweet that too. So here's your immediate assignment today, not tomorrow. Identify one result you must see in 90 days. Find the governing law in scripture or creation that produces it. Write a 1-3-week plan that puts that law on your calendar. Commit to one daily practice so small it's embarrassing to skip. Choose 2 people, a counsel who knows the way and a companion who walks the way. And pray daily not to be inspired but to be obedient. That's your altar call. No goosebumps required, just laws obeyed. Let me bless your mouth before we move on. Put your hand over your lips and declare, this law will not depart from my mouth. I will meditate day and night. I will observe to do. I will make my way prosperous. I will have good success. Now reverse it and refuse it. I reject poor success. I refuse unprosperous ways. I will not neglect the law. Your future just heard you. Now we're going to make your calendar obey you. Because for the next 90 days, change is not your boss, it's your employee clocking in under the authority of law, plan, practice, people, and prayer. Predictable progress has entered the building. Write this down, say it out loud, tell your furniture says amen. You cannot stop a season, but you can decide your posture in it. What did I say? Say it back to me. You cannot stop a season, but you can decide your posture in it. Ecclesiastes 3:1 already legislated it. To everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Seasons are not democratic. They don't ask for your vote. They arrive by law. You don't break the law of seasons. The law of seasons breaks your excuses. Tweet that to somebody who is still blaming winter for not planting corn. The first discipline of the next 90 days is not hustle. It is reading. Write this down. Before you set goals, set glasses. The tribe of Issachar in 1 Chronicles 12:32 understood the times and knew what Israel should do. Understanding precedes doing. In other words, if you misread your season, you will misapply your strength. Some of you are swinging an axe in a season that requires a scalpel. Others are napping in a season that demands sowing. That's not spiritual warfare. That's seasonal ignorance. Proverbs 10:5 says, he who gathers in summer is a wise son. He who sleeps in harvest is a son who causes shame. Reverse the verse. If you sleep in harvest, you lose what the season made available. Right now, don't wait for me to finish. Name your current season in one word. Growth, pruning, recovery, expansion. Pick one, circle it. Put it on the top of your page in capital letters. What did you choose? Say it softly to yourself so your soul takes a memo. This is not therapy, it's legal positioning. Let me define them quickly so you stop guessing. Growth, the season where roots thicken and skills stretch. You are adding capacity, not applause. Pruning, the season of strategic cuts. You remove good branches to make room for great fruit next cycle. Recovery, the season of repair and replenishment. You restore systems, not status. Expansion, the season where you scale what already works, you extend boundaries and multiply results. Now, test your word against predictable waves already scheduled for your life. Write this down. Waves don't negotiate with swimmers. They keep times. What waves are on the calendar? Industry shifts, product launches, regulatory changes, fiscal quarters, family milestones, babies due, graduations, anniversaries, medical procedures, national cycles, tax season, holiday surges, election noise, academic terms, syllabus weeks, finals. If you are in retail, November is not the month for a silent retreat unless your retreat is to the warehouse. If you are a parent, back to school is not expansion, it is logistics. Stop being shocked by waves you can see on Google. Wisdom is seeing the tide chart and tying your boat accordingly. Let me help you with a picture you'll never forget. Fish don't argue with water temperature. They move. They don't hold a prayer meeting against winter currents. They change depth. Obey the season, adjust position. Say that after me. Obey the season, adjust position. Successful people don't curse winter. They change crops and coats. The foolish insist on wearing swimsuits in snow and call it faith. Faith is not foolishness. Faith is compliance with law. Jesus said, my time has not yet come. John 2:4. Even the Son of God respected seasons. If he could wait or advance by timing, what makes you think you can bully a season into bending? Decision time. Lock a 1-3 week horizon. I want you to draw a box on your paper and write week 1 through week 13. That's your season of intentional obedience. Not accidental activity, intentional obedience. We are not deciding forever today. We are deciding the next 90 days. Isaiah 32:8 declares, the noble make noble plans, and by noble deeds they stand. For the next 13 weeks, your nobility will be punctual. In other words, you will stand because your plan stood guard over your emotions. Why 13? Because it's the length of a season you can manage without lying to yourself. You can fake a day. You can fantasize about a year. You can't hide from 13 Mondays. Now, align your word to your weeks. If you chose growth, your calendar must preach practice, skill blocks, reading reps, deliberate discomfort. If you chose pruning, your calendar must cut cancellations, unsubscribes, no written in ink, not in feelings. If you wrote recovery, schedule sleep like a CEO, meet your physician, budget for margin, honor Sabbath as a law, not a suggestion. If your word is expansion, your weeks must multiply, partnerships, distribution, systems, standard operating procedures. Don't worry, we will build the exact plan in the next principle, but the season determines the design. The carpenter measures twice, the fool nails first. Listen to Galatians 6-9 with seasonal ears. Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Reverse the verse, faint, and you will miss your due season even while standing in the field. Weariness is often a symptom of resisting a season you should be obeying. Some of you are exhausted because you are expanding in a pruning time. Others are bored because you are recovering in an expansion window. That's why naming is vital. Adam's first assignment was to name things. Naming is dominion. When you name a season, you locate authority. Let me visit your house with gentle sarcasm. Brother Tim told me, Doc, January is my reset month. I said, who told you that rule? January is just a page number. The law of seasons doesn't read your gym's marketing calendar. Successful people break the rules to keep the law. If your season begins this Wednesday at 2 p.m. because the contract lands then, start Wednesday at 2 p.m. Don't wait for the first of the month to impress your planner. Tradition loves dates. Laws love obedience. Tweet that and tag your resolution group. Here is how we seal this in your spirit. Put your hand on your head and declare, like the sons of Issachar, I understand the times and I know what to do. I cannot stop a season, but I decide my posture. I obey the season. I adjust my position. Week 1 to week 13 is my season of intentional obedience. Again, one more time, louder than your doubt. Good. Now take your one-word season and put it on your mirror, your lock screen, your desktop. Let your environment preach what your calendar will practice. Fish don't fight temperature. Farmers don't fight winter. Wise people don't fight seasons. They read, they align, they reap. So master the season by naming it and aligning your next 90 days to its demands. Because change is a law and seasons are its schedule. If you respect the schedule, change becomes your chauffeur, not your choker. And for the next 13 weeks, we ride. Now that you've named your season, point your season, write this down. Success is not what you've done compared to others. Success is what you've done compared to what you were supposed to do. What did I say? Say it back to me. Compared to what I was supposed to do. Jeremiah 29-11 is not a fridge magnet. It's a file already opened in heaven. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a future and a hope. Listen carefully. He didn't say, I know the plans you will invent. He said, I know the plans I have. In other words, your job in the next 90 days is not invention, it is agreement. Write that down and tweet it. Purpose is not created. Purpose is discovered and obeyed. Let me irritate your insecurity and bless your focus at the same time. Popularity is a moving target ruled by the mood of the crowd. Purpose is a fixed law ruled by the mind of God. If you chase applause, you will miss assignment. If you obey assignment, the right applause will find you and is useful. Jesus did not run after crowds. Crowds ran after Jesus because he solved visible problems with his gift. Blind eyes problem, bread shortage problem, storm at sea problem. Influence always collects around problem solvers. Say this out loud. My gift solves a problem and my problems reveal my assignment. Good. Now stop trying to be viral. Start trying to be vital. Here is the law of purpose-driven targets. Please write this in bold. Aim at purpose, not popularity. Define 3 measurable outcomes that honor your assignment. Not 8, not 27. 3. Why 3? Because confusion multiplies when focus divides. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Reverse the verse. Where there is clear vision, people flourish. And vision that cannot be measured is just imagination with a halo. Habakkuk 2:2 told you the technology. Write the vision, make it plain, so that he who reads may run. Plain means measurable. Run means scheduled. So here's the template I want tattooed on your calendar for the next 13 weeks. Verb plus measure plus date, not work on the book. That's a wish. Draft 45,000 words by week 9. That's a target. Not get healthy. That's a dream. Hit 90 workouts and blood pressure under 100 and 20/80 by week 13. That's a target, not grow the business. That's a speech. Increase repeat customers from 22% to 35% and ship product version 2.1 by week 10. That's a target. Do you feel the difference? Laws respect clarity. The universe does not pay invoices labeled do better. Let me visit your kitchen table like a Jamaican uncle. Sister Carla said, Doc, my goal is to be more present with the kids. That's beautiful, but clouds are beautiful too and hard to schedule. I said, translated. She wrote, eat 5 tech-free dinners per week for 13 weeks. 1 Saturday adventure bi-weekly. Pray aloud with them 4 nights a week. Verb. Measure. Date. By week 13, she had memories, not intentions. Tweet this. Transformation is the child of translation. Purpose translated into targets becomes progress. Now, align those 3 outcomes with your season word. If your season is growth, your targets must stretch skill and capacity. Complete 13 skill blocks and pass certification exam by week 12. Build a 3-0 article knowledge base by week 9. If your season is pruning, your targets must cut and concentrate. Eliminate 3 non-revenue products by week 6. Sunset 2 committees by week 4. Consolidate platforms from 5 to 2 by week 8. If your season is recovery, targets must repair and replenish. Sleep 8 hours, 70 nights by week 13. Complete physical therapy sessions 3x weekly. Reduce caffeine to 1 cup daily by week 3. If your season is expansion, targets must multiply what already works. Open 2 new distribution channels by week 7. Onboard 10 partner accounts by week 10. Document and deploy SOPs for fulfillment by week 5. Do you see the law? Season decides targets. Targets decide your calendar. Calendar decides your life. Say this with me. So your ego sits down and your assignment stands up. I am measuring what matters to my assignment, not my neighbor's applause. Again, louder than Instagram. Good. Likes are not legal tender in the economy of purpose. Applause will not pay your mortgage, heal your body, or disciple your children. The law of purpose-driven targets pays you in fruit that remains. Jesus said in John 15:16, I chose you and appointed you to go and bear fruit, fruit that remains. Remaining fruit is measurable fruit. If it can't be counted, it usually can't be kept. Let me introduce a secret that separated Daniel from average courtiers. Convert purpose into problems you are assigned to solve. Write this down. Your outcomes must be aimed at named problems. Influence grows where you solve visible problems with your gift. Daniel solved the king's ignorance problem, dreams without interpretation. Joseph solved Egypt's famine logistics problem. Lydia solved a marketplace supply problem with purple cloth. What's the problem your target removes in the next 90 days? Write the problem first, then aim the target. Problem: customer onboarding takes 14 days and loses momentum. Target: reduce onboarding to 5 days and increase activation to 80% by week 11. Problem: but my team is confused about priorities. Target: implement a 1-page weekly priority sheet and achieve 90% task alignment by week 6. Problems make your purpose practical. Let me pass to your perfectionism for a second. Some of you won't aim because you fear missing. Hear the law. A moving arrow is directable. A parked arrow is just furniture. If you miss week 9, you adjust to week 10. But if you never chose week 9, you will celebrate motion with no mileage. James 1:8 says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Reverse it. The single-minded woman is stable in all her ways. Target single your mind. Take 30 seconds right now, yes, in this moment, and draft your 3. Start each with a strong verb. Add the measure. Add the week. If you don't know what to pick, ask Jeremiah 29:11 to tutor you. Lord, show me the plan you already have so I can agree with it. The plan exists. Agreement writes it down. Action dates it. Accountability measures it. Now put your hand on your head and declare, I am aimed by purpose, not hunted by popularity. I define 3 outcomes that honor my assignment. I convert problems into targets and targets into weeks. I am measuring what matters to my assignment, not my neighbor's applause. Excellent. Put those 3 on your wall, your lock screen, your team board. Because in the next principle, we will translate those outcomes into a 1-3-week sprint so purpose stops haunting your conscience and starts living on your calendar. You don't break the law of purpose-driven targets. It breaks your excuses. Aim and let change carry your arrows where obedience has pointed them. Write this down, please, in capital letters across the top of your page. Planning is the proof of faith. Faith without a calendar is fantasy. What did I say? Say it out loud so your planner repents. Planning is the proof of faith. Faith without a calendar is fantasy. Luke 14:28 asks a grown-up question. Which of you, intending to build a tower, does not sit down first and count the cost, lest after he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him? Reverse the verse. If you don't sit down first, you will stand up embarrassed later. Planning is not legalism. It's legal compliance with the law of completion. You don't break the law of planning. The law of planning breaks your excuse. We have 3 outcomes. Now we must give them legs, lungs, and a weekly heartbeat. Here is the law. Every outcome becomes 13 weekly sprints, 1 decisive deliverable per week per outcome. Tweet that and tag your accountability partner. 1 week, 1 deliverable, no debate. In other words, start dating your goals, schedule your weddings. If your outcome A is draft 45,000 word manuscript by week 9, your 13 sprints might read, week 1, outline full table of contents. Week 2, chapters 1, 3 rough draft. Week 3, chapters 4-6. Week 4, chapters 7-9. Week 5, chapters 10-12. Week 6, chapters 13-15. Week 7, chapters 16-18. Week 8, chapters 19-21. Week 9, compile and first pass edit. Week 10, external edit pass. Week 11, author revisions. Week 12, proof and formatting. Week 13, final submission package with cover brief. Do you see the spine? Each week has a decisive deliverable evidence you can point to, not feelings you can narrate. Apply the same to outcome B and C. Recovery outcome, week by week deliverables look like week 1. Sleep schedule drafted and devices off by 10 p.m. 5 nights. Week 2, medical check and baseline labs complete. Week 3, physical therapy intake plus 3 sessions. Week 4, pantry reset plus meal prep system. And so on 13 weeks, 13 proofs. Expansion outcome, week 1, partner list finalized. Week 2, outreach scripts plus CRM setup. Week 3, 10 discovery calls booked. Week 4, 2 partner MOUs signed. Keep going. Stop writing romance novels to your future. Write receipts. Now, how do we operate daily inside a weekly sprint? Build a daily operating system. Write this down. Morning law, top 3, evening review. Say it out loud with me. Morning law, top 3, evening review. Morning law, before you touch the world, touch the word. Read, reflect, rehearse. Read 1 chapter, yes, 1 Joshua 1-8 still applies. This book of the law in your mouth daily. Reflect, write 1 sentence answering what law governs today's work. Ecclesiastes 10:10 says, if the axe is dull and one does not sharpen the edge, then he must use more strength. But wisdom brings success. Planning is blade sharpening. Rehearse, declare your weekly deliverables and your 3 tasks out loud. Your ears must hear your assignment before your phone does. Then the top 3, pick 3 tasks that move the weekly deliverables forward, not 30. 3, make them time bound and calendar bound. If it's not on a block, it's on a fantasy. Evening review, 10 minutes. What worked? What didn't? What's next? Carry unfinished tasks forward or kill them on purpose. Don't let them haunt your pillow. Thank God for wins, adjust for tomorrow. 1 Corinthians 14:40 says, let all things be done decently and in order. Reverse the verse. Disorder is proof things are not being done. Tools that obey the law, write these down and pick them by sundown. Time blocks on your calendar. Create standing appointments with your deliverables. If you would not miss a dentist, don't miss your destiny. Put outcome A, block A, 10A, M Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Outcome B, block 1 to 30, PM Tuesday, Thursday. Outcome C, block Saturday, 9/11 AM. Protect them with holy jealousy. A visible Kanban board, 3 columns. To do, doing, done. Each weekly deliverable and its supporting tasks live on cards. Limit, doing to 3 at a time, work in progress limits are humility in sticky note form. Too many doing cards is confession that you love drama more than delivery. A sprint review template, keep it simple and repeatable. Week number, outcome number, deliverable, done. Evidence link, score, 0 or 1, lessons, adjustments for next week. Print 13 of them now. Failure to review is permission for drift. Proverbs 16:3 says, commit your works to the Lord and your thoughts will be established. Commit the works on paper. God will stabilize your thinking. Let me pastor your calendar. Stop letting the day negotiate with your destiny. Plan the work, then work the plan. Say it again louder than your notifications. Plan the work, then work the plan. Do not let the day negotiate with your destiny. Emergencies are rare. Poor planning is common. Brother Jamal told me, Doc, my day just gets away from me. I said, days don't have legs. You let them run. Tie your day to the dock with time blocks. Put your phone in airplane mode during your sacred blocks. Airplanes fly higher when they stop receiving every text on the ground. Successful people break rules to keep laws. Break the rule that says you must answer every email within 15 minutes. Keep the law that says you must deliver your weekly sprint. Break the rule that meetings must be 60 minutes. Keep the law that your top 3 must be completed before lunch. Jesus rose early a great while before day to pray. Mark 1:35. If the Son of God needed a morning law, you need one too. Prayer aligns the will. Planning assigns the work. Here is your move before the sun sets. Take your 3 outcomes and draft 13 weekly deliverables for each 39 cards. Don't panic. Clarity is mercy. Put week 1, 13 dates on your planner. Block the first 2 weeks on your calendar tonight. Build your Kanban whiteboard, wall, or digital by tomorrow morning. Print your sprint review template and clip it to your mirror. Write your morning law ritual where you brush your teeth. Read, reflect, rehearse. Then declare with me one more time. I plan the work, I work the plan, and I do not let the day negotiate with my destiny. Very good. Because purpose is no longer haunting your conscience. It just found your calendar, your clock, and your courage. And change that wild visitor just took a seat in your waiting room with a number in his hand. You are in charge now by law. Now that your plan can walk, we must clear the road. Write this down, tweet it, and tag 3 distractors in your life. Successful people break rules for the sake of the law. You don't break laws, laws break you. What did I say? Say it back to me. Break rules for the sake of the law. There's a difference between a rule and a law. Rules say always be available. The law says focus produces fruit. Rules say answer every ding. The law says the seed must be in soil, not on the sidewalk. Jesus calling out in Matthew 15 is, why do you break the commandments of God for the sake of your tradition? Traditions are rules. Commandments are laws. Successful people break rules that violate the higher law of focus. The law of focus elimination is simple. Remove what violates concentration so your plan can breathe and your gift can perform. Proverbs 4:25-27 says, let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Do not turn to the right or the left. Reverse the verse. Wonder eyes. Wandering life. Focus eyes. Establish paths. Some of you don't need more time. You need fewer leaks. You are pouring 10 gallons of purpose into a bucket with 15 holes and then blaming God for evaporation. Oh dear, I guess I'm talking to myself. Talk to the hand. Start with a not to do list. Write this in bold ink and stick it on your wall. I protect my sprints by refusing violations. Here are your first 3. Adopt them for the next 13 weeks. Number 1, no email before 10 a.m. Morning brain is premium fuel. Stop selling it to spam, the top 3, and deep work get the first servings. Number 2, no meetings without an agenda and a stop time. If there's no agenda, it's not a meeting, it's a mingle. Say it with me, no agenda, no attendance. Number 3, no late night scrolling. Screens after 10 p.m. are stealing tomorrow's strength. Proverbs 25:28 says, a person without self-control is like a city with broken down walls. Reverse the verse. Build walls. Keep watch. Sleep well. Your not to-do list is your wall. Kill shortcuts. Write this down and carve it into your habits. The longest way to success is the shortcut. I know that hurts your hustle, but it will heal your harvest. Proverbs 13:11 says, wealth gotten hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. In other words, hacks hide fees. Harvests come to process, not to magic. Seeds don't respond to microwave settings. Muscles don't grow because you bought shoes. Students don't get degrees because they arrange their desk. Choose the process, not the hack. Tweet that and tag your favorite YouTube rabbit hole. Time stewardship, listen carefully. This is law. Block deep work like you block a flight. If you would not miss your plane, don't miss your purpose. 2 hours of consecrated concentration will outproduce 6 hours of interrupted activity. Protect sleep and nutrition like legal requirements, not luxury items. Elijah did not receive an angelic TED talk when he was burnt out. He got food and a nap, 1 Kings 19. God respects biology because he invented it. And Sabbath, write this down, Sabbath is a productivity law, not a religious rule. Genesis 2:2-3 says God rested, blessed the day, and made it holy. Mark 2:27, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. In other words, rest serves your assignment. Break the human rule that says real grinders never stop to keep the divine law that says every system needs a reset. Keep 1 full day in 7 for replenishment, no sprints, no emails, no fake emergencies. Watch how clarity returns like a faithful employee on Monday. Environmental subtraction is humility in your house. Write this short line. Remove 1 friction per room. Go walk your environment today like a building inspector. In the living room, put the TV remote in a drawer during work blocks. If you must move a couch to avoid the Netflix altar, move it. In the office, put your phone in another room or in a lockbox during deep work. Airplane mode is cheaper than burnout. Sleep in the kitchen, pre-position healthy snacks at eye level and bury the sugar like a bad memory. In the bedroom, exile the charger to the hallway. Make your bed a sanctuary, not a scrolling station. In the car, turn your commute into a university podcast or scripture audio cued, not talk radio rage. Small frictions remove big temptations. Hebrews 12:1 says, lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us. Some of your weights have serial numbers and Wi-Fi. Break rules to keep laws. Break the rule that says you must keep your door open all day. Keep the law that your genius needs 1 uninterrupted hour. Break the rule that nice people say yes to every request. Keep the law that purpose chooses the best over the good. Jesus walked away from Capernaum revival meetings to preach in the next towns because for this purpose I came forth. Mark 1:38. He disappointed crowds to keep assignment. If the Son of God could leave a line of needs to obey his next step, you can leave a thread unread to finish your deliverable. Let me get in your calendar with some pastoral mischief. For the next 90 days, schedule do not disturb windows daily and Sabbath weekly. Put sleep 10 p.m. on your calendar like a board meeting. Pre-block lunch with protein and greens. Yes, write it. You can't run a Ferrari on soda. Set your email to batch check at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Create a meeting policy that says agenda 24 hours before. 30-minute default. End 5 minutes early. Announce it to your team. Some of you feel nervous already. That's the sound of people pleasing leaving your body. Now, action in the next 10 minutes. No excuses. Write your not to do list with at least 5 items. Start with the 3 we named. No email before 10 a.m. No meetings without agendas. No late night scrolling. Add 2 more that target your personal leaks maybe. No social media before lunch. No news during work blocks. No sugar after 7 p.m. Sign it. Date it. Put it on your wall on your lock screen. Then walk your house and remove 1 friction in each room before you sleep tonight. If you can't do it in 10 minutes, your excuse is in the drawer with the remote. Put your hand on your head and declare, I eliminate violations to protect my focus. I break rules to keep laws. I refuse shortcuts. I choose process. My time, sleep, and nutrition are governed by law. My Sabbath is sacred. My environment agrees with my assignment. Again, louder than your notifications. Good, because the law of focus elimination will give your plan oxygen and your gift a stage. And for the next 13 weeks, the only thing louder than your phone will be your fruit. Now that we've cleared the road, we must put mile markers on it. Write this down, bold, underline, frame it on the fridge. What you do not measure, you subconsciously permission to ignore. What did I say? Say it back to me. If you don't measure it, you will ignore it. In other words, attention follows the scoreboard. Success does not follow your feelings, it follows your figures. Ecclesiastes 10:10 says, if the axe is dull and one does not sharpen the edge, he must use more strength, but wisdom brings success. Reverse the verse. If you sharpen the axe, you will use less strength and get more success. Measurement is sharpening. Feedback is wisdom. Stop swinging harder at trees. Your metrics could fail easier. Write this next line and tweet it to somebody living in hustle with no history. Score it or lose it. If a basketball game can't keep score, the gym turns into cardio with arguments. Many of you are sweating profusely with no scoreboard. You have activity, not advancement. You are busy, not better. The law of measurement says what you track, you improve. What you hide, you repeat. Here's the framework. Simple, lawful, daily, visible. Build a scoreboard with 3 lead measures and 3 lag measures. Leads are behaviors you control. Lags are results that report back. Seeds you plant are leads. Harvest you count are lags. Say that with me. I plant leads, I count lags. Good. Now let's put skin on it. If your outcome A is the manuscript by week 9, your lead measures might be 1, words written per day, for example. Focus blocks completed, for example. 2 90-minute sessions. 3 days, you start writing before checking email. Your lag measures 1 total word count to date versus plan. 2 chapters completed on schedule. 0 over 1 each week. Edit a ready draft delivered by week 9, 0 over 1. If your outcome B is recovery, your leads 1 hour slept, 10 p.m., 6 a.m., 2 workouts completed, 3 caffeine servings. Your lags, 1 resting heart rate and blood pressure, 2 energy self-score at 2 p.m., 3 lab numbers improvements by week 8. If your outcome C is expansion, your leads, 1 outreach call sent, 2 demos booked, 3 follow-ups executed within 48 hours. Your lags, 1 new partner MOU signed, 2 revenue from new channels, 3 repeat customer percentage by week 13. Notice the law. Leads create lags. Lags validate leads. Don't pray for a harvest you refuse to plant. That's not faith, that's fantasy. Make the scoreboard visible daily, not hidden in a folder behind your desktop aquarium. Put it where your eyes confront your honesty. Wall, whiteboard, team dashboard, or a printed sheet taped to your door. Green checks for leads completed, red for misses, weekly lag numbers in bold. Be diligent to know the state of your flocks, Proverbs says, 27-23. Reverse the verse. If you are ignorant of your flocks, you will be surprised by famine. Many people fast and pray against a famine that a spreadsheet would have prevented. Oh dear, talk to the hand. Now, the rhythm of feedback, please write this down. Measurement sharpens your axe. Feedback turns effort into effectiveness. That means you must listen to your numbers and let them coach you. Don't be offended by your data, be discipled by it. Every Friday, before the sun clocks out on your sprint, hold a 20-minute retro. Yes, even if it's just you and your mirror. Ask 3 weekly questions out loud and answer with evidence. 1, what law did I obey that produced fruit? 2, what rule did I break to protect that law? What will I adjust by 10% next week? Not 100%, that's drama. 10% is law-abiding humility. If your words per day target was 1,000 and you hit 700, adjust by 10%, increase your morning block by 9 minutes, or reduce evening TV by 12 minutes. If your outreach calls were inconsistent, tighten your lead measure to a time-bound slot, 10, 30, 11 a.m. daily, airplane mode on everything else. If sleep was violated, move the charger again farther. Exile it like a rebellious cousin. Automate your feedback. Write this line and implement it tonight. If I can forget it, I must automate it. Set calendar reminders, title, scoreboard check at 4:45 p.m. daily. 5 minutes mark, leads, glance at lags. Friday, 4:30 p.m. sprint retro. Same 3 questions, plus 1 more for the grown folks. What evidence proves this week is done? Put the link, the photo, the file, Sunday, 5 p.m., 1-5-minute reset. Pray, preview, week number, pre-block your top 3 and pre-fill your scoreboard lines. Joshua 1-8 told you to meditate day and night. That's frequency. I'm giving you the operating system. Daily check, Friday sharpen, Sunday align. Let me pastor your feelings for a second. Numbers are not your enemies. They are your neighbors who tell the truth. Some of you grew up in churches where effort was celebrated and outcomes were ignored. We clap for trying. Heaven, however, grades by stewardship. In Luke 19, the master didn't ask, did you enjoy holding the mina? He asked, what did it produce? That's a lag measure, my friend. And then he promoted based on results, not intentions. Don't be hurt by that. Be helped by it. Success is predictable because stewardship is measurable. Tweet that and tag your future supervisor. Here's a story from Brother Andre. He was posting content whenever the Spirit led, which apparently was every 3rd leap year. I told him, put your spirit on a schedule. His leads became post 3 times weekly at fixed times, 1 live Q&A Saturday morning, and 3 0-minute engagement blocks post-publish. His lags were followers from target niches, email sign-ups per week, and inbound consultations booked. In 5 weeks, the lags responded to the leads. Why? Laws don't respect vibes. They respond to obedience. One more proverb for your palate. 1 Corinthians 9:26. I do not run like a man running aimlessly. I do not fight like a man beating the air. In other words, athletes keep score. Champions measure splits. Winners review tape. You cannot be casual and be crowned. You don't break the law of measurement, it breaks your excuses. Now lift your hand and declare like a CEO over your destiny. I sharpen before I swing. I measure what I expect. I obey laws. I break rules that violate those laws. And I adjust by 10% weekly. My leads create my lags. My scoreboard leads my day. Again, louder than your insecurity. Beautiful. Because with this law in motion, your axe is keen, your swing is efficient, and your forest is about to change its skyline. The scoreboard is up. Now we must decide who gets to read it with you. Write this down, people. Our law. You don't escape the law of proximity. You enforce it, or it enforces you. Proverbs 13:20 says, he that walks with the wise shall become wise, but a companion of fools will be destroyed. Reverse the verse, walk with unwise, and you will inherit unnecessary pain. Influence is earned by solving problems, but proximity decides which problems you even see. David didn't hear Goliath on Spotify. He was near the valley. Nehemiah didn't rebuild from a rumor. He put his face on the wall. Jesus didn't do Jairus' miracle with hecklers in the room. Mark 5:40 says he put them all out. In other words, your miracles are allergic to the wrong audience. Here is the law. Write it down. Tweet it. Tag your top 5. Right people multiply your obedience. Wrong people monetize your distraction. What did I say? Say it back to me. Multiply obedience. Monetize distraction. There are people who make your yes to God compound. There are others who turn your focus into their entertainment. Psalm 1 opens your 90-day playbook. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the ungodly, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. He shall be like a tree planted. Counsel determines planting. Planting determines fruit. Your life is a garden. Your friends are the climate. For the next 90 days, appoint a council. 1 mentor, 1 peer, 1 protege, 3 seats, 3 assignments, 3 cadences. Say that with me. Mentor, peer, protege. Good. The mentor is your wisdom well. They are not your therapists. They are your compass. That question is, which law governs what you're attempting? The peer is your mirror. That question is, did you do what you said you'd do? The protege is your outlet. Their question to you is, teach me what you're practicing. 2 Timothy 2:2 gives the chain of custody. Entrust to faithful people who shall be able to teach others also. If grace only flows to you, it will stagnate. If it's seen, when it flows through you, it stays fresh. Set the cadence lawfully, not lazily. Mentor, 30 minutes every other week. Fixed time, fixed agenda. Send your scoreboard and one question 24 hours before. Not 8 questions, not your life story, one question. For example, my lead measures are slipping on sleep. Which law am I violating? And what one adjustment do you recommend? Respect their time. Bring evidence. Leave with an action. Exodus 18:19-23 shows Jethro telling Moses to appoint structure to save his soul and the people's sanity. Mentors save you hours of wandering by naming a law you're breaking. Fear, every week, 15 minutes, same day, same hour. Monday, 7:30 a.m. on Zoom, fine. Friday, 4 p.m. in the cafe, good. Use the stand-up template, say that loud with me. Done doing help. Done. Report sprints completed last week, 0 or 1 with evidence. Doing, declare this week's top deliverables by outcome. Help requests exactly 1 assistance. An introduction, a script review, a 30-minute co-work block, 15 minutes total. We do not discuss the weather, we produce weather. If you go long, you are avoiding the scoreboard. Iron sharpens iron. Proverbs 27:17, not marshmallows. Protege, 1 session every 2 weeks, 45 minutes. Your job is to multiply what you are learning, not what you are pretending. Teach them a law. Assign them a mini sprint. Review their evidence. This keeps you honest. The best way to master a law is to teach it to someone who will ask you, did you do it too? Pour into the faithful, not the famous. Jesus had 70, then 12, then 3, then 1. Luke 6:12-13 shows he prayed through the night and then chose the 12. Access was tiered. Love was equal. Proximity was strategic. Now, guard your circles. 1 Corinthians 15:33 warns, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Reverse the verse. Good company corrects weak habits. Some of you are begging for permission from people who have no appointment in your purpose. Write this down, tweet it, and tag yourself. When people won't change their priorities for yours, stop asking for their permission to obey your purpose. That is not meanness. That is management. Your time is holy. Your destiny has a budget. Sentimentality is a beautiful friend and a terrible manager. Conduct a relational audit tonight. Take a sheet and draw 3 columns. Column 1, multipliers, people whose presence increases your obedience to laws. Column 2, maintainers, good people who neither increase nor decrease your obedience. Column 3, monetizers, those who profit from your distraction. They sell you drama, buy your time at a discount, and resell your attention to chaos. Do not be cruel, be clear. Move multipliers closer, appointment access. Keep maintainers at healthy distance, casual access. Set boundaries for monetizers, guarded access. Break the rule that says if they text, I must reply now, to keep the law that says my proximity protects my prophecy. Formalize access. This will make some demons nervous. Create office hours for favors. 1 60-minute block per week. If a request cannot fit that block, it must wait. Announce your new meeting policy. Agenda sent 24 hours prior. 30-minute default, 5-minute early end. Set do not disturb windows on your phone during deep work and your peers stand up. Some of you treat your phone like a public park. Build a gate. Psalm 141:3 says, set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips. Extend it. Set a guard over your calendar. Keep watch over the door of your contacts. Let me pastor your courage. It is not disloyal to reposition relationships. It is stewardship to obey assignment. Jesus loved the crowds, but regularly withdrew to lonely places to pray. Luke 5:16. He told Peter, get behind me, Satan, when sentiment tried to detour assignment. Matthew 16:23. If the Son of God could correct a friend to protect a future, you can say, not this month, to protect a sprint. Here is your move before sundown. Choose 3 names: mentor, peer, protege. If you don't know the mentor personally, Select approximate mentor for 90 days, books, podcasts, one virtual course, and treat it like an appointment. Send 3 messages now to the mentor. May I have 30 minutes every other Tuesday for the next 90 days? I will send 1 question and my scoreboard 24 hours prior. To the peer, stand up Monday, 7:30 a.m., 15 minutes, done doing help. To the protege, for 90 days, I will teach you 1 law bi-weekly and review 1 deliverable. Are you faithful and available? Then set your first peer stand up on the calendar and prepare your first 3 questions. No ceremony, just law. Lift your right hand and declare this like a CEO over your destiny. My proximity is my prophecy. Guarded like a law, not a suggestion. I appoint counsel. I guard circles. I break the rule of sentimental access to keep the law of assignment. The right people multiply my obedience. The wrong people will never again monetize my distraction. Again, louder than all loyalties. Beautiful. Because with this law in force, your 1 3-week plan will have witnesses, your sprints will have support, and your future will have a fence. And change, that wild visitor, will find you surrounded by wise counsel, sharp peers, and hungry proteges, ready to serve, not sabotage your assignment. We have appointed counsel and guarded circles. Now we must appoint your mouth and guard your environment. Please write this down and tweet it to somebody who keeps whispering to their destiny. Words set the thermostat. Habits change the temperature. What did I say? Say it back to me. Words set the thermostat. Habits change the temperature. Proverbs 18:21 says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Reverse the verse. If life and death are in your mouth, then silence is surrender. You don't break this law, it breaks you. Joshua 1-8, as the operating system, this book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, then you will make your way prosperous and have good success. Notice mouth before mind, confession before completion. In other words, your mouth and your environment must preach the same sermon your calendar is practicing. Here is the law of declaration and environment. Set the words, shape the world, then work the plan. The kingdom never begins with a hammer. It begins with a let there be. Genesis 1 shows God speaking order into chaos and then hanging lights to govern seasons. Your declarations are your let there be, and your environment are the lights you hang to rule your days. James says the tongue is a small rudder that steers a big ship. James 3-4-5. Reverse the verse. If the ship drifts, check the rudder. If your 90-day plan is drifting, check your declarations. Daily declarations. Write this down and build it tonight. Morning and evening, 2 minutes each. Say out loud your 3 outcomes, 1 identity line, and 1 law you're keeping today. Not a poem, not a vibe. Specific, lawful confession. Morning sample. Outcome 1, manuscript draft delivered by week 9. Today I write 1,000 words before email. Outcome 2, recovery. Today I sleep by 10 p.m. and hydrate 1 liter by noon. Outcome 3, expansion. Today I send 10 outreach messages and book 2 demos. Identity, I am a disciplined doer of laws. Law today, I keep the law of focus elimination. No meetings without agenda. Batch email 10 and 4. Evening sample, celebrate the seed, not just the harvest. Today I completed 2 deep work sprints. Hit 980 words, send 12 messages, lights out at 10:05 p.m. I obey laws. I adjust by 10% tomorrow. Romans 10:10 says, with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. Salvation is a process applied. In the next 90 days, your progress will be confessed before it's possessed. Trigger design, write this down. Place cues where action happens. Deuteronomy 6-8-9 gives you God's UX manual. Bind them as a sign on your hand. Write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. In other words, law where the hand moves. Law where the eyes pass. Put a sticky note with your top 3 on your laptop bezel. Print your sprint card and tape it on your desk. Start time, end time, 1 target. Rename your 7:30 a.m. alarm. Pen on paper, 1,000 words now. Place your gym bag by the door with shoes untied, bottle filled, earphones in the pocket. Move your water bottle to your keyboard at night so you can't type without touching discipline. Set a laminated prayer and declaration card in your bathroom mirror. Your toothbrush is now a pulpit. Trigger design removes negotiation. If your destiny requires momentum, your house must remove excuses. Oh, there, I know I'm talking good. Talk to the hand. Now, identity ladder, please write this and put it in your wallet. I won't, I can, I will, I did it. This is the rungs of becoming. Before each sprint, speak your next rung aloud. If you add I won't, graduate to I can by law. I can complete 1 2 5-minute block now. If I can, declare I will. I will start at 9 a.m. and finish 25 minutes. After completion, confess, I did it. Say it, smile, mark it green. Why? Your brain believes the sound of your own voice faster than your private intentions. David strengthened himself in the Lord, not by scrolling. He spoke to his soul. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Psalm 103:1. Reverse the verse. If you let your soul speak to you all day, you will ride its weather. If you speak to your soul by law, you will set its climate. Shape the environment to agree with your declarations. God didn't place man in a mall. He planted a garden and then placed the man into his assignment. Genesis 2:8-15. Placement precedes performance. Reverse the verse. Wrong placement. Wasted potential. So curate your Eden. Clear your desk at the end of every day. A messy desk is yesterday yelling at tomorrow. Put a small stand for your phone outside the office. If it's in the room, it's your boss. Pre-position your lunch protein and greens, not just to eat, but to keep the law of energy stewardship. Sound matters. Create a focused playlist or silence as your sanctuary. Smell matters. One candle you light only when you write teaches your brain. Now we work. You think I'm being cute. I am being lawful. Sensory cues are servants. Break rules to keep laws. Break the rule that says keep your goals secret or they won't happen. That's superstition. Keep confidences, yes, but confess your plan to yourself daily and to your peer weekly. Break the rule that says say it once, God heard you. Keep the law that says meditate day and night. Frequency trains focus. Break the rule that says if it's meant to be, it'll be easy. Keep the law that says if it is lawful, it will be repeatable. Here is your immediate action before the sun clocks out. Write your declaration card, front and back. Front 3 outcomes stated as completed. 1 identity line, 1 law of the day. Back the identity ladder with blanks to circle your current rung. Place copies in 3 places: mirror, desk, car, dashboard. Next, build 5 triggers. Sticky note on laptop with top 3. Sprint card on desk. Alarm label on phone. Gym bag by door. Water bottle on keyboard. Then walk 1 room and make 1 change that preaches your plan. Move the charger to the hallway. Place the notebook on your pillow so your day ends with reflection and begins with review. Now, lift your voice, say it out loud like a CEO over your destiny. I am a disciplined doer of laws. My environment agrees with my destiny. My words set the thermostat. My habits change the temperature. My mouth and my environment preach the same sermon my calendar is practicing. I climb the identity ladder, won't to can to will to did it. Again, louder than your old atmosphere. Beautiful. Because when your declarations and your design align with your sprints, change stops being a storm you survive and becomes a wind you harness. Now that your mouth is appointed and your environment is ordained, we must appoint your calendar and ordain your cadence. Write this down. Tweet it to somebody still winging their destiny. A fixed weekly rhythm turns principles into muscle memory and momentum. What did I say? Say it out loud. Fixed rhythm becomes muscle memory. Muscle memory becomes momentum. Joshua 1-8 says day and night. That's cadence. Psalm 90-12 says, teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Reverse the verse. If you don't number your days, you will hemorrhage your wisdom. Law without rhythm is a lion without a stride. Here is the 1 3-week map, clear, lawful, repeatable. Weeks 1 through 12 are sprints. Week 13 is consolidation, celebration, and codification. In other words, 12 weeks to plant and prune, 1 week to harvest, store, and write the manual. You don't break this law, it breaks you. Farmers know it, athletes know it, musicians know it. Your heart keeps keeps a rhythm, your purpose needs one too. If your heartbeat behave like your calendar sporadic, oh there, call an usher. Weekly ritual, please write this down and obey it without negotiation. Monday plan, daily law practice, Friday review, Sunday reset with counsel touch point. Say it with me, Monday plan. Daily practice, Friday review, Sunday reset. Good. Luke 14:28 asks, which of you intending to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost? Monday is your sit down, not a vibe, a calculation. 30 minutes block, headphones in, calendar open, scoreboard visible. Step 1, review last week's lags and leads, green for obedience, red for drift. Step 2, define this week's top 3 deliverables by outcome, not activity. Chapter 4, complete is lawful, work on chapter is smoke. Step 3, block the time on the calendar, 2 deep work sprints per deliverable minimum. If it's not on the calendar, it's a rumor. Step 4, set or adjust your lead measures in numbers and time. Step 5, send your done doing help to your peer before 8 a.m. and your single question to your mentor if it's a mentor week. Step 6, pray to plan, Proverbs 16:3. Commit your works to the Lord and your thoughts will be established. Reverse the verse, commit nothing and your thoughts stay scattered. Daily law practice is the engine. Morning 2 minutes of declaration, your 3 outcomes, 1 identity line, 1 law you're keeping today. Then the first deep work sprint before touching the world's emergencies. Midday, 5-minute scoreboard, check mark leads, adjust the next block by 10% if you drifted. End of day, 10-minute shutdown, clear the desk, set tomorrow's first card, move the phone outside like a noisy tenant. Joshua 1:8 again. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth. Then you shall make your way prosperous. Reverse the verse. If it departs from your mouth, your way becomes mysterious. Keep the law daily and mystery turns into method. Friday review is where wisdom sharpens. 20 minutes. Ask the 3 questions out loud with evidence. What law did I obey that produced fruit? What rule did I break to protect that law? What will I adjust by 10% next week? Then write this down and tweet it to your bashful excellence. Celebrate the seed, not just the harvest. Visible celebration teaches your brain to repeat obedience. 1 Corinthians 9:24 says, run in such a way as to get the prize. Runners practice splits. Champions celebrate splits. Buy your brain a medal for keeping the law. That could be as simple as a special coffee you only drink after the Friday retro, or a walk at sunset with your favorite song because you kept your sprints. Reward discipline, not chance. Now, the rule to break and the law to keep. Break the tradition of hiding progress in the name of false humility. Keep the law of testimony because testimony breeds momentum. Matthew 5:16 says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Reverse the verse. Hide your light and your works won't train anyone, including your own brain. Every Friday, share 1 weekly win publicly, 1 sentence, 1 screenshot, 1 lesson, 1 next step, not bragging, bearing witness to a law. Revelation 12:11 says, they overcame by the word of their testimony. Testify to laws, not to ego. Tag your peer, encourage your protege, and teach the world that obedience is repeatable. Sunday reset is your sacred steering wheel. 15 minutes, quiet spirit, clear eyes. Step 1, gratitude and guidance. Thank God for last week's laws kept. Ask for light for the week ahead. Hebrews 4 speaks of entering rest. This is strategic rest, not sloth. Step 2, preview the week numbers. Are your lead measures humane and holy? Step 3, pre-block your top 3 into the calendar. Confirm the peers stand-up time and send any files your mentor needs 24 hours in advance. Step 4, leave your protege 1 question and 1 micro assignment for their next session. If you treat Sunday like drift, Monday will treat you like a storm. If you set the rudder on Sunday, the ship won't shame you on Wednesday. Mid-season reset, write this down big. Week 7 is halftime. We sharpen measures, renegotiate scope, but we never abdicate the law. Nehemiah 4:6 says, so we built the wall for the people had a mind to work. They hit a halfway marker. Reverse the verse. If you don't mark halfway, your mind will wander. In week 7, book 45 minutes. Pull your scoreboard trends, 3 highs, 3 lows. Sharpen lead measures. Make them more specific, time-bound, and within your control. If a lag is stubborn, ask which lead is actually causal. Renegotiate scope if necessary to protect the deadline. Remove non-critical features, not the finish line. If your manuscript is behind, cut the bonus appendix, not week 9. Adjust by 10%, no drama, just law. Recommit publicly to the core outcomes. The law you keep in week 7 determines the song you sing in week 13. Now, week 13, the holy week of consolidation, celebration, and codification. Consolidate, archive assets. Name files properly. Document your process while it's fresh. Law log, 7 lessons from cycle 1. 1 page per law. What worked, what broke, what to repeat. Codify, turn your discoveries into checklists and templates for the next cycle. This is how excellence becomes scalable. Celebrate, set your Ebenezer. 1 Samuel 7:12. Then Samuel took a stone and called its name Ebenezer, saying, thus far the Lord has helped us. Put a token on your shelf, a frame, sprint card, a medal, a pen you only use to sign completed outcomes. Celebrate celebrity. Say it with me. Celebrate leads to celebrity. In other words, what you celebrate in public repeatedly, you become known for consistently. Make the celebration visible enough to train your neural pathways, but pure enough to honor God and laws. Take your spouse or your team to dinner and testify to 1 law each person kept. Post a thread, 7 laws I practiced, 3 outcomes achieved, 3 lessons, and 1 way you can do it this week. Then rest, worship, smile, and quietly set the date for the next 3-week ascent. Let me pastor your urgency with humor. Your calendar is not a suggestion box. It is your covenant. If you are still asking your feelings for permission to obey your plan will file for bankruptcy. Break the rule of feeling-led scheduling. Keep the law of rhythm-led excellence. Say this with me like a CEO over your destiny. My weeks walk in lines. Monday I plan. Daily I practice. Friday I review. Sunday I reset. Weeks 1 through 12, I sprint. Week 13, I consolidate, celebrate, and codify. In week 7, I sharpen the plan, but I never abandon the law. Again, louder than your old chaos. Beautiful, because when your life moves to this cadence, change stops ambushing you. It clocks in, takes instructions, and goes to work as your employee, not your enemy. Lift your head and square your shoulders. This is commissioning. We are not finishing a talk. We are beginning a transformation. Say this out loud with me like a CEO over your own mandate. Change is a law. Planning decides if it blesses or breaks me. Again, stronger than your old excuses. Good. You don't break laws. Laws break you. But when you plan by law, change becomes your usher, not your intruder. Write this down and tweet it to somebody living by vibes. Success in the next 90 days will not be luck. It will be the harvest of daily obedience to proven laws. Joshua 1-8 is still the operating system. This book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth. Then you will make your way prosperous and have good success. Reverse the verse. If law departs from your mouth and calendar, confusion enters your week. Not here, not for the next 90 days. Now, within 24 hours, activate. Don't clap, act. Number 1, write your 3 outcomes as completed sentences. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision, make it plain. Reverse the verse. If you don't write it, you can't run it. 3 outcomes only. Purpose-driven, measurable, lawful. Number 2, schedule. Week 1's first sprint block on the calendar. Start time, finish time, 1 target. Not work on it. Deliver 1,000 words. Call 10 prospects. Ship version 1. If it's not on the calendar, it's a rumor. Number 3, send your counsel the plan. Email your mentor. Text your peer and brief your protege. Proverbs 11:14 says, in the multitude of counselors there is safety. Reverse the verse. In the absence of counsel there is drift. Hit send before the sun sets. Evidence, not excuses. Choose 1 brave rule to break this week and name it now. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. Write it down. This is commissioning. Examples. Break the rule of inbox first mornings. That superstition says, if I don't check email at dawn, the world will end. Newsflash, if your purpose ends when your inbox is silent, you had no purpose. Or break the rule of permission seeking from unassigned voices. Stop asking people without appointment for approval to keep your assignment. Or break the rule of open door cell phone policy during deep work. Your phone is not the president. Pick one, name it, and announce it to your peer. Why? Successful people always break the rules to keep the law. Now, choose one eternal law to keep daily for the next 90 days and name it. I'll help you. Keep the law of first things. Matthew 6:33 says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added. Reverse the verse. Seek things first, and the kingdom will be subtracted from your day. Practically, that means God first 10 minutes of scripture and declaration. Purpose first. Your first work block serves outcome one before you serve the world's appetites. Or keep the law of measurement. Ecclesiastes 10:10 says, if the axe is dull, more strength is needed, but skill brings success. Reverse the verse. Unmeasured effort is wasted energy. Score it daily or lose it quietly. Name the law. Commit to it. Practice it every day until your muscle memory can preach it without you. I'm about to pray a dangerous prayer over you, but hear me first. Pray like it depends on God. Plan and practice like it depends on you, because laws answer prayer with process. James 2:17 says, faith without works is dead. Nehemiah 4:9 says, we pray to our God and set a watch. That's heaven and habit, intercession and iteration. Stop expecting God to multiply what you refuse to measure. Present him a lawful plan. He blesses order. 1 Corinthians 14:40, let all things be done decently and in order. Reverse the verse. In decency and disorder, nothing gets done. Lift your right hand and declare this after me. For the next 90 days, I am a disciplined doer of laws. My weeks walk in lines. Monday I plan. Daily I practice. Friday I review. Sunday I reset. Weeks 1 through 12, I sprint. Week 13, I consolidate, celebrate, and codify. I break the rule that weakens focus. I keep the law that multiplies fruit. My proximity is my prophecy. My declaration set my climate. My environment obeys my assignment. Change is my employee. Purpose is my boss. Again, louder than the chaos that used to run you. Beautiful. Now, as your pastor teacher, I charge you today, write your 3 outcomes. Block your first deep work sprint tomorrow morning. Yes, tomorrow. Prepare your done doing help for your peer and your single question for your mentor. Place your declaration card on the mirror. Move your phone outside your sacred work zone. Make one visible environmental shift that preaches your plan. Deuteronomy 30:19 says, I set before you life and death. Choose life. Reverse the verse. If you choose drift, you chose death by inches. Choose life by law. Let me pray. Father, in Jesus' name, I bless every mind to be sound, every heart to be courageous, every hand to be skilled. Order their steps, Psalm 37-23, and order their stops. Expose every rule that violates your laws. Magnify your laws that secure their assignment. Give them the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. Let favor greet their obedience, not excuse their laziness. May angels guard their calendar and wisdom govern their counsel. And in 90 days, may they stand and testify. Thus far, the Lord has helped us with evidence in their hands and excellence in their habits. Amen. Now go. Don't chase change, coach it. Don't negotiate with chaos. Name laws and enforce them. Don't wait for a mood worker method. Treat it as a witness and a reminder. Don't chase change, coach it. Number 9, 0 day law. Number, planned obedience. Begin now. Obey the laws. Work your 1 3-week plan and let change become your employee, not your enemy.